Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today. This is going to be a behind the scenes video for Smash Our Stash. I don't know, I'm just starting out with you, so we'll see how we progress. Please excuse the background noise. The washer is steaming, like it's getting ready to clean. So sometimes real life gets in the way of crafting and relaxing a little bit. I went through my shelves and I was honestly just trying to find regular tea-dyed paper. This looks maybe tea, maybe coffee, but at least I found one piece. Along the way, I found this and thought, oh, this would be amazing. And then some smaller ones, and smaller ones are good. And then this big one, we'll have to be careful about how we fold it. What we're gonna do is decorate the edges of the paper so that when we put these in a journal, ooh, the back of this is luscious, all nicely tea-dyed, they have nice borders on them. But we wanna think about the fact that most of the journals that I make are take an 8.5 piece of paper and fold it in half, right? Just a regular size piece of paper. Every once in a while, I have to trim the edges a tiny bit. So let's keep in mind that we want to give ourselves a little room just in case I have a skimpy cover or I don't like it. I could tear along a tiny edge or trim it back. But I don't usually like to do that because look at these luscious borders that we have. I don't even have all the lights on, you guys. It's early morning, I get confused. I think small ones are great because then I don't have to worry about it in the long run. You've seen me, maybe if you've been around a while, you might be excited because we're about to like make clusters kind of stuff and get messy. What I was thinking was it would also be a great project. Pull out those scraps. I know, you've got them, Nancy. The offcuts of your pages, 2 inches, probably great. One is skimpy, but you can layer it on top of the two because I'm gonna put a bunch of these on the paper, but I hope to show you, I don't know where my scrap bag is right now. I hope to show you some actual assembled on scraps, and then you can add them as pockets or tucks later. So you don't have to have A, these papers with you and ready, or B, any sort of plan. I've gone neutral so that they'll work in lots of journals, but if you put them on strips of paper, you wouldn't really have to commit to your paper yet. Also, I pulled these papers, not so much this one, but I pulled these papers with that postage stamp journal cover that also has some florals in mind. I would show it to you in case you're new here, but I have put it somewhere safe because it's in a plastic bag and Zelda is obsessed with plastic bags. So sometimes I have to tuck things away to interrupt the dynamic of chewing on the plastic bags. Anyway, it's somewhere safe, but that is why I chose some florals because I was thinking I might want to stamp faintly, not loud, not like dark black, but maybe the second stamp off along this and then build my border over it. And I could use stamps, I could use flower ephemera. I always like a touch of a puffy sticker now and then, but these are a little bit modern for that journal cover that I'm thinking about. So maybe we'll have more than one thing going on. Any tiny die cuts, hearts, stars, you could even make them with a circle punch just to have dots of color. The counter here is actually really clean, which puts me at a disadvantage because very often I use trash from the counter. Like this is out of a tissue box. It's a tiny little stitch circle. Yeah, we'll probably use that. Any little bits and bobs that you have. Oh, here's one. A bird that I never put on a card. Some fun ephemera that Nancy sent us, some little things. Oh yeah, I think those we got in Happy Mail too. I mean, I don't know what else. Flowers. The flowers are, well, they're purple and green, right? They were inspired by Andrea, but they're not my favorite palette. You could also use little tiny words, anything that you have, and I'll walk you through that a little bit. I put pine sol in the washer, so it's a little strong in here. I might take a break for now. I'll be back. Well, yesterday morning I set everything up and the girls have rearranged it for us. I tried to protect it and now we're back to it. If you have Christmas exploded in your room right now, this would be a great way to make bookmarks or any sort of ephemera for journals or decorate pages. You could just play with all the Christmas mess. Essentially, if you have a mess, then go for it. Now is the time. I pulled out other things that I didn't show you. They were at the bottom of the pile. On my Etsy shop, I have some digitals of family members. Look at her. She's a hoot with a big feather in her hat. I don't know if these are the exact ones. What I thought was these would be fun. I'm trying to go vintage because I already have that journal cover. So I thought little vintage photos mixed in with postage stamps is where I'm headed. Let me show you because it drives me nuts when people talk about what they're going to do forever. Oh, there's Eliza wandering through. If you're new here, I got 2 kittens last year. And so now we have kittens who are full size who help with things. Some people plan their collages. If you want to think about how your color lays out and if you have enough items for the thing, or if you're just new and nervous, then you can kind of take things and lay them out and say, okay, do I have enough? And what that does for you, which I have experienced over the years, is as I'm laying things out, I'm going to move the things that are pretty much the exact same color away from each other. I won't lay them down. If you start just gluing, you might put all of the things that you like mixed up and then end up with only flag stamps down the rest of the page. Or maybe when you go through your little ephemera, oh, this is going to be tricky, you guys. It's really early in the morning. So if I try locking them out, they're going to sit on the other side of the door and yell. And then Mr. Crafting and Relaxing and Zeus, who are sleeping peacefully like normal people, will not be happy with us. So we sort of have to just leave them be. Because if they don't get to play in here, they get kind of bratty. Look through your stuff, and if you're at all nervous, don't glue it down. Now, like I said, I'm not nervous. I'll start gluing stuff down anytime. I don't care. And I have enough junk in my room that I could always fill it in later. But do you see how when I pulled the stars out, I put them at different points? If you're working top down, you might glue all of the like items right at the top and then realize you can't add variety down the page. Now, these stars are just random things that are punched. And what I'll probably do is, one of them's a metallic. And since I'm going vintage and somehow silver doesn't feel warm enough to me, I might not use that one. But if I can lay them out and we can get some of this glued down before the girls help me, that's another thing about gluing them down, is if you have helpers in your room, you might want to glue as you go. This is a great way. I don't know if there's videos and I don't know what journal it ended up in, but I have some things over the years where I just left a 2-inch strip of paper on the counter and then I glued random stuff to it for weeks and then I put it in a journal. And lots of times I get comments like, oh, that thing is amazing. And I'm like, yeah, take all your trash and glue it together. Okay, these are silver. So I'm going to leave the silver ones. And I've had kind of a hard week. And honestly, I'm a little on the crabby side. And one of my friends said, go craft something blue, because that'll help you. And she was right. So maybe we'll make vintage and then we'll do one that's like blue and silver. So you could put any little things you have, right? We're just looking around. I'm not going to use, like, yes, I could use these, but they're so far off on color, then I won't like the item. Like, don't use things that don't bring you joy, because experience tells me, oh, let's use this too. That once we put them on, I have more of that somewhere too if we want more. Or we might just take the leaves off. But if you don't really like something, like these flowers, you're probably not going to like them once you glue them into your project. Ooh, here's a vellum flower. We'll stick that back there. We might save that for the blue and white, because it doesn't really go here, but does add some fun shimmer. Let's make a little thing of what we're going to put on our next one while we're at it. This isn't where we got the other stars. Okay, look, because there's like a bronzy copper one. We'll take that one. It's metallic, but at least it's earth tony. I don't know what this one's doing. It's just a runaway navy. So these are all my, oh, here's some white ones. We'll put those in the blue. These are all of my little tiny, and quite honestly, some of these have probably been in here for years. It's time to go through and use them up. Chair behind me is spinning, so it's distracting. Oh, here's this little tiny bird that I was supposed to put on a card, and then I lost the bird, and then I found it. Here it is. So let's put it in our little collage here. Balloon. We'll throw that in the blue and white one, but I don't know. Ooh, I like the create. We'll use that. The edges are bright white, though. I think we want to ink that. A star out of book page. The edge isn't inked, but I don't hate it. Okay, now let's take sequin. Look at us cleaning stuff out. I'm not sure about the blue glitter item, but we'll throw it in there. Ooh, here's a gold one. Sometimes when I'm die cutting, if you meant to, these look like I was cutting something shorter. I don't know if these are extra parts or what, but sometimes you, as you're making your card, you want the piece a little bit shorter, and so you cut it off. And if you're a card maker, you probably throw that away. If you're a journal maker, you're like, oh, trash for later. So that's what some of these are. Here's a lavender one. We'll throw that in the blue. So we're literally just cleaning out the clutter. Oops. That one jumped, so somewhere there's likely going to be a cat that eats that. That's not awesome, but I don't think I'll find it, quite honestly. It was a very small something of 3-dimension, but experience tells me Zelda can process quite a bit. Okay, this one is a little chunky, but on a journal page, it might be kind of fun. So I'm sorting them as I go, and I don't know if you can tell, but there are some tiny, tiny, tiny paper stars right there. See them? I want to put those on this one if we can. Let's put them right here. There's also a gold one I don't hate. This little gold one. The big one, I don't know if it'll stick. It might be a Tim or something. See, it's really heavy, and this is just copy paper. So I don't think I want that one on there. The little wood star, I want to use that one. So these are too tiny to put on the thing, because as I start moving them around, I'll mess them up. There are people who will demo how to lay out your collage and then glue it together properly so you don't redo the whole thing. I am not those people. I usually mess it up. But, I mean, somebody else might mess it up. And sometimes, okay, here's a little wooden heart. Now, normally I'm not a heart person, but it's light. It might be kind of cute on a vintagey looking collage. I don't think I'm going to use a gold sequin. That's a little much for vintage. I think this is just like a circle from the middle of a letter or something. It's not bringing me joy. Same here. These are like tweaker ones. When I'm die cutting, I don't throw anything away. If it's foliage or something, I keep it. Now, I'm going to dump these together in my very scientific sorting method. Oh, look. Here's another little wood with a framed border. So then we would have a wood heart and then a star. I like that. Now, if you do not have store-bought, fancy, stupid ephemera, that's okay. You've probably got scissors and paper and an imagination. Oh my gosh, look at this one. This is like a red, white, and blue goodness thing happened in here. I almost need glasses to craft. Isn't that terrible? At this point, I'm getting there. Okay, there's really nothing in here I like. I mean, I need to have a hard conversation and say, some of this has to go. Look, okay, I like the little paw print. I'm not going to put it in the postage stamp thing. It might be weird for the recipient. I mean, I think it's awesome, but I think if we were going to use a paw print, we should find some more. Oh, let's go through this while we have it open too. Oh, here's another bird. They're trimmed differently too. So if I use that bird, this is a special stamp that somebody sent me, so I don't want to use that one. Here's another one of these. These are fun. These are a little big and rowdy for this, but we might put those in the blue one. Okay, and this one too. This, put some blue. Here's another one of those stars. Now, see, I found the stars later. That is the advantage of not gluing things down, because the stars are kind of big and boring, and I would put them as a background. I might use this too, because it's like bronzy gold. It kind of goes with it, and I like it. If you have a little bit of shine, Zelda's trying to eat the puffy stickers off the thing. So let me go ahead and take, whoa, 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 whoa. No, that's Mommy's. Okay, those are all mine. Yep. Let's put something over those. There we go. Helpers. I don't know where I was before the puffy stickers started getting eaten. Okay, we're going to need lids on these. The blue one is right here. And then the tiny tinies for the current collage right here. And based on our company, we better get to work gluing things down. And you can use any glue you have, right? This is not a rocket science type project. You could use a glue stick. You could use just about any glue. Warping will be, you know, if you use like Elmer's, it's going to warp. because it's a little cheaper. Just go skimpy with your glue if that's the case. And also when you're gluing these down, am I going to ink the edges? I want to, but I feel like it's going to be a pain in the rear because they're so fine. Let's try it. We'll use this. This is a super juicy pad, so that might get weird too. But they're like, you know, book page. They're super thin. There we go. That just kind of adds a little bit of I'm not so brand new, because it's not a real old book. It was probably some Reader's Digest guide or something. As you're gluing these things down, you might not want to do your best gluing job ever. This is a great project to just kind of tack things down until you commit. Unless you're sure that's my very back layer. Like the stars might be my very back layer, but I'm not even totally committed to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dot of glue in the middle of them. And then I'm just going to see if maybe I want to tuck something down and weave them. You've got to see this. Okay, just hang on. She's supervising us. Like, okay, what are you doing here? I think she likes the sound of the paper shuffling, which is a little tricky for us. Okay, so I'm going to take this. I'm going to make sure there's no weird words. And I'm going to... It was like some sort of crime. There were pages where I was like, no. I'm just going to put a spot. I'm going to try to be sure. When I inked them, I didn't check front or back. So I'm actually going to use this side, even though I don't like it as much. I just put a dot of glue in the middle. Bam. Then I'm going to glue down the other ones. And I'm going to work kind of fast and stressed out because she has... I don't know. She'll either take a polite nap over there or she just won't be able to take it and she's going to pounce on us. So that makes collaging like never overthinking it, right? Because you have to go kind of fast. And I don't care if the text is upside down. I'm going to cover up the blank part and put this like right there. So see how the stars kind of floated down the page? Let's move this stuff away from her too. There you go. If you had glued the 3 stars down, or if you had glued 2 down thinking you only had 2, and then you found them later, it might not look as good. You just might not have mixed it up like you wanted to. I'm going to glue this flat. And, oh, I forgot the birds are trimmed differently. So I'm going to use the one that's trimmed, and then my bird is going to stand right here on top of my star. And I'm going to glue my bird, well, I was going to, and then now I'm like, maybe not. Sorry, my voice is a little crackly. We've had, ooh, I like that. We've had air stagnation warnings here for days. I did just take my Allegra, and it's just, people have migraines and stuff from it. It's not awesome. There, and then there. See, now I'm pushing the bird down on top of the stamp. As I glue things down, and if I wanted my border to be quite a bit wider, I wouldn't have glued the stamp down all the way. But this is about where I want to manage it. Now, remember yesterday when I said, in this video, that we shouldn't get right to the edge because we might have to trim? That is true, but look how dark and luscious that is. I'm not going to trim that unless I have to. Let's put this one here. Oh, then we'll have this touch of navy. I have tons and tons of stamps. I washed another batch. If you're not familiar with stamp washing, our friend Bonnie of Bonnie and Clive has a video on it. I did one, but it might have been on the member side. I'm not sure. But the washing, what it does is it gets them off the back, so they're thinner to collage with. Now this one I glued down all the way. I might not have wanted to do that. It's habit for us to glue things well. It just is. Ooh, I like that. Let's have a pop of navy there. Now on these little tiny embellishments, I'm probably not going to tuck anything under them, except I did with that bird, huh? Now we have stars layered. Now, this is really, oh, these are exactly the same. I don't want that one right there. See, that's kind of how you can think about it. Love this blue one. Maybe we save this one for our blue. And then we'll have postage stamps on that one too. It was just too cute. I mean, it was. Okay, here's Einstein. He's looking good. I have lots and lots of these red ones too. I'm a little hesitant about digging through this too much because she is sitting there and supervising, right? But I want to find a little more variety in color and faces. I don't think we have any of these out here. And when I washed them, oh, here's a blue one. Let's put that for the blue. Here's another blue. I didn't pay attention. Like some of them are international. That one doesn't look very vintage though, but that might be fun in the blue one. Yeah, so we have international stamps. We have like 70s, 80s. Ooh, I like these. Let's use some of those. Because then we get some contrast. This one's pretty damaged, which is fine, but this is going to be right on the border. So I want something that I know will lay flat and not fall apart, whereas I can use torn bits and all sorts of ephemera. Let's get a flag. This one didn't wash super well. It feels like it has a thick layer on the back. I love that. Oh, here's Denmark. Let's use that. Ooh, I like this color better. This one was a little bright for this. So, I mean, you can see this is very scientific. Oh, I like this one too. And you can see I'm kind of going like darker. Einstein's going to be a little wild on this page at the rate I'm going. But if you really wanted to fit him in, you certainly could. Ooh, look, I like this one, this purpley. I bet Andrea does too. Okay, there. What's this one? Sometimes I look at them because I'm like, I don't know. It looks cool. I like it. I like the black. Yeah, let's get some dark in there for contrast so it's not boring. Okay. As I glue these down, I'm gluing part again. So like I didn't glue this side. I don't think we're going to add to it though because of the width, right? It's funny. I tried to move the star. I'm going to put that right there. And see, because I didn't glue the star down or the stamp down, I can put it under it. These are tiny. And again, could probably use my glasses. We've reached that point in my channel, people, where I should wear my glasses while I make you videos. It's a sad state of affairs. I like the navy. I think it's navy. It might be black or something. Let's put it down there because we already have one up there. And we could use a little, ooh, here we go. Something else I was going to say. Oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. This is a new item, and she's going to take the lid. Hey, give me that. Did you see her? Hey, give me that. Yeah, she came in. She made her move, tried to take the lid. She steals a lot of things. Like, that is her jam. Okay, oh, look, and I can put it under the star because I didn't put it down all the way, and under here. So it'll go like this, yeah. I don't like big empty spaces, but sometimes I'm not that like brave in collaging, and you just got to do it. You just got to practice at it and say, if you use what I call the trash, hey, what are you eating? Don't eat things. Then there's less pressure. If you have store-bought ephemera, sometimes you're overthinking it, right? You're like, oh, I paid several dollars for this pack of ephemera and I want it to turn out right. If you're using a bunch of die cuts and trash off your counter, let's be honest, you have more bits and bobs. I could die cut more stars. You guys might send me more. You never know. So it kind of takes off some of the pressure, I think, of like, this is a big blank spot. I don't like that. Okay, it is pretty warm in here. So my glue is fountaining. The bottle's very empty and the room is very warm. That is a phenomenon that I believe occurs with art glitter and Barely Art. I don't know if it does it with others. So in a minute when I have less glue on my hands, which we better get to quick or it's going to get worse, I'm going to unscrew the top, which is super stuck. And see, now it's getting worse. This is real life, people. I was thinking I needed to refill my glue bottle, and I even put the glue by the counter, by the sink, kitchen sink, like 2 days ago, but I haven't done it. Okay, I'm going to put the pin in. To stop this, we either have to cool the room, which we're not going to do. Oh, there's coffee spilled all over that. Or let the air inside the bottle and outside even out. Now, I unscrewed this a ton. So if I'm not, she's going to take the Kleenex. If I'm not paying attention, we're going to have a problem, okay? But I need to just let it sit for a minute, and then I can screw the lid on almost all the way. Like, I'm going to tighten it some, or just take it off for a minute, and then it will even out. It's the pressure and temperature in the room and the bottle. If it was more full, it wouldn't have that problem too. So maybe after this, I'll actually fill it. There should be like a bloopers reel of when I fill my glue bottle. Like there should be a camera by the sink and I would turn it on every time. About 1 in 5 times it goes perfectly fine. And then the other times it's like a sitcom or something in there. You know, you go too fast or you're not paying attention or I don't know. It just doesn't always work out well. I like the size of this one, but I want a little more variety in color. Somewhere I have a whole bunch of these black and white ones that I bought in an envelope, and I don't think they're on backs. And they came all in an envelope. I don't know where they are, but maybe we could use something out of here. Here we go. Here's something green. I mean, I just feel like we got, like, I want vintage and calm. Oh, no. Are you watching that? Yeah, that's what life here is like. It's good for your crafting because you can't dawdle. Okay, so we have to shut the bag. She loves plastic bags, too. Okay, let's have like a pop of green right here. That's a little close to the edge. I'm not sure I want to do that. So let's go here. And they don't all have to touch. We can always fill in with other stuff too. Okay, these 2 gold ones, one is glitter and one is like iridescent poster board because I was die cutting that. I'm going to rule those out. They're just a little much for this page. But I am going to use this one down here somewhere. So we'll have this one. Let's use a black stamp because we have more of these too if we want to mix one in later. Hang on, I have to see what's going on behind me. Just an empty bag. Coffee break. If you have coffee, drink it because it is getting cold. Okay, I don't like that. And this is too close. See, if I put this here, I'm going to have this, and then I don't have a third one. That is part of scrap creating. So I want these 2 pieces down at the bottom somewhere. Ooh, how about this one? We'll take this one. We'll put this one right here just to fill in some space. I don't know. She yells about a lot of things, so she's not actually at the door. She just has a lot to tell you about the service and treatment here, I think. When my dad stayed with me for a couple nights, I warned him because we were sitting around watching TV and she just started screaming. And I was like, and he was like, you weren't kidding. And I said, nope. You just have to be prepared for it and know that there's no life or death emergency. She doesn't need anything. She just wants to yell at you. And I mean, she doesn't really talk. Like, she yells. Okay, I like that. And then, hey, let's use this, remember? I'm going to put it in just like that. And it might be weird. You might say, I would have left that off. And that's okay. I just think sometimes it's fun to try these things. And what am I going to do with it otherwise? Put it in the trash. Art glitter glue should hold this. If it was a little thicker, I might use one of those clear glues. In the US, our more expensive glues are clear, that'll glue like anything to the page. And our white glues are the cheap glue. It's fascinating. Like in Europe, when you watch crafters, the clear one they're using, which here would be like a $10 bottle of glue or something, is, even if it was small, is their like cheapo one from the store down the street. I don't know if they stink. Our clear glues like that here usually stink. The cupboard down below is open, and that's where I keep the vintage scrapbooks. Hang on. Oh, no, 2 kitties. Out. That is also where I keep the Kleenex, because we can't have Kleenex out. So that's actually what they had found and we're into. We have child locks on the kitchen and bathroom cupboards now. I may need some in the craft room. Oh, they got me sidetracked. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Okay, now I'm going to leave a little bit of edge. I'm pivoting that just in case I need to move it in the future. And when you're gluing stamps, I mean, just like anything else, look how cheap I'm being with the glue. There is not much here. That is not a lighting problem. There is just not much. Because, oops, We'll just wipe that off. You don't need that much, and it's just more likely to make a mess or curl your project. So be cheap with your glue. Now my page is warping a little bit. That's okay. It'll flatten out later. I probably won't use it for years. No, who knows? We might find that cover and get that journal put together. I was thinking today might be a good day to put the layer over the top that I wanted to, the gel medium. Okay, I'm going to see if I can lift this leaf. I mean, I'm ungluing it and tearing the paper, but if I cover it up, it's okay, as long as I don't put a hole in it. There's a lot of weird stuff going on behind me. Touch of green there. What if we use this big one? Yeah. Oh, no, he doesn't quite fit. He might just have to go like right here because he's huge. And I'm going to glue him down, which will back me into a corner, right? I'm going to have a space in the middle that now has to be filled in. But I just want the variety. I don't want all little square stamps, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with it if that's all you have. I'm just gluing this right under the star because I think it'll be fun. And then I'm hitting the edge a little better. Can you see the little paw? Yep, I don't make this stuff up. That's why I lock them out. That's why I know a lot of you are like, I love to see them. Oh, I love to see them too when I'm watching TV and not trying to craft. This one still has paper on the back, but it's pretty small and it's very, flat. She just can't help herself, you know. There we go. That's a fun little corner, the way that ended up. Okay, now let's not forget this guy, and it would be fun if he was over here. Just because the other one went one way, this guy can go the other way. I don't really like anything symmetrical. You'll see that in my collages and in my work. I like asymmetrical, swirly. I like my jewelry that way, everything. Okay, now this might need the other kind of glue that I was talking about. I don't think art glitter glue is going to keep that glued to a page. It might keep it glued to a card, but probably not a journal page because it is an actual wood piece. So we'll just set that right here because it would need a touch up. Same for this one. And I'm not going to introduce that glue right now. Hang on. Missy? She takes her treasures and she hides them. When I crawled under the table, this is a plasticky piece from a sticker backing. We don't want her to have that either. So we'll put this down in a jar and we'll put something on it. Once she has an item in her sights, it is problematic. I probably should have just put it in a drawer. Okay, this one's blue. We'll put it over here. This is taking forever. So if I do more, I'll probably turn off the camera. Oh, I gotta have Einstein in there. Little pop of purple. Now I said be miserly with the glue, right? But I'm trying to get it to the edges on this one because this is a, oops, remember when I said, and then be careful? I'm gonna take some of that glue. Whew, that's a lot. Because I know I'm gonna push this one underneath. It's gonna go like this. And I don't really want it at the same angle as Lincoln, but you know, I got some glue problems and a lot going on. It might be. Now, let's tighten up the glue bottle, like I said. And now we have glue on the counter and on me. Yep, that's why I always have Kleenex. Don't worry, like this is crafting Kleenex. Okay, now, if we had like a little brush, if only we had craft supplies here. You know I'm kidding, right? Like, don't send me anything. And those of you who are artists, if this is a fancy brush and you're horrified, sorry, dude. Probably got it for free. Probably got it somewhere along the way in a art swap or trading with friends. Or from my sister. Oh, I like that. Now, we need a little pop of dark right here. And there's no rules. Just have a great time and try it. And if you don't like it, if you say, I don't like it, leave it there. Like, put it all together, leave it there. Go away and come back. And maybe you could add some stuff and then you would like it. Don't just throw out your stuff. Here, I am going to trim this. Well, a pair of birds. Do we want another bird? Let's see. If we want him, where would we put him? Oh, he'd be fun right here. I don't like him right there so much. If I hadn't glued this down tight, we could put him under there. I don't think another bird I love. So I'm going to put him in the blue one. Then we can have birds in both. He's stamped in blue. Okay, there we go. Now we've got these tiny tinies. Let's see if we can get them out and get them glued. Now this piece is wood, but it's so small. Like, I think we can glue it with this. Let's do a dot from the bottle. You hear that? That is rummaging through junk journal supplies under the counter. Okay, there we go. So we got our little wood star. There you go. And it has a little bit of glue around the edge. I'm not going to worry about that because, oh, I forgot this one. Now see, if you forget one of your big ones, well, so be it. Make another one. So we'll put that over there. But I did mean to use it. And then let's see if we can get this chunky. Oh, this is like a hollow back. This won't work with art glitter glue. Can you see how it's concave in the back? It would have to have some texture to hold it down. So we'll just ignore it. But I do want these. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see them. I don't know if the human eye will be able to see them. I have two pick-me-up sticks in the same jar. Clearly something's gone odd. Now for these to show on this paper, I'm going to have to put them on a contrasting place. Like right here. And I think they have like a right side up. Let me zoom you in for the next one, except I don't know where the next one's going to go yet. I think it would be fun maybe on this burgundy one. And let's put it like right there, sort of in the middle. Can you see it? Oh, there it is. Okay. Okay, I think it goes that way. And there's a nice dark spot right here. If you are wondering, why does she put stars on everything? Because I love stars. If you love hearts or triangles or feathers, then put feathers in your collage. Whatever makes you happy. We have this fun collage on our border. I forgot to use any of the vintage photos, family photos, but look at that. That is just fun. Really fun. So we've got trash from the counter. This star got a little bit crazy on the page. Like if you think about journaling, I'm going to glue the point down now because I don't want to go any wider. I got a little rowdy. You guys should have been like, hey, dial that back. That's okay. It's your page. And you've seen me. I'll use pattern paper. Remember, clean the glue off the counter before you put your journal page in it. Little bit of glue doesn't matter, but it will, like this is tea or coffee dyed, so it'll kind of muck that up. That's fine. You can still write on it. The world won't end. This is what happens during the break. Help. This is Miss Zelda, if you don't know her. Look how big she is now. She says, I'm way too beautiful to be on camera, but I'm going to shop and see what I can find in the supplies. Oh, and I love to take stuff off the shelves. One day I found this little stamp on the floor and I couldn't figure out how. And then I realized I had them sitting here. Oh, see, she hasn't found that little thing yet. She just takes them. So I'm still thinking, oh, I need to keep cleaning up. I'm definitely not cat proof. And I put a bunch of stuff away. I think it was for HVAC and never pulled it back out, but still. Okay, so that's Zelda. She's actually the thin one, and the vet said that she was not underweight. I want to show you this one. We're going to do the blue one, but we're going to do it on a scrap because, my friends, I know that you have scraps. Nancy, you've been talking about 2-inch strips and what to do with them. This is a great way to do it, and you can cut these and just leave them out, and they're cleanup after your projects. You can do tiny die cuts and add them. You can go through your jars, clean the counter. I will probably make one as I clean up for the video. This will be the video that shows later. That will be the behind the scenes, but I need to actually make a video for today. Yeah, today. So let's get to it. So this strip I can put on a page later. I'm not saying it'll even be in this journal, but it will. That's funny. That paper has been following me around. I'd like to use that up. or just throw it in the go away. I don't know if this will go into this journal. Maybe it will be too bright when we're done, but by putting it on a separate strip, we get to decide. Now, I'm not feeling the balloons so much. I think I'll keep the balloons for a birthday card or something. This strip is another concept. If you had a bunch of cute little birthday die cuts and you wanted to anchor them, you could put a bunch of balloons across it horizontally or a bunch of candles and add it to a card. If you're a card maker and you're like, oh, I would never use this technique, I think you could. Now, I'm just throwing stuff on there. The other thing that a strip does, it gives you structure. This is how much I'm going to decorate. Whereas on the other one, I kind of got rowdy. Now, that's funny. The bird, I'm glad the bird has a big border, but doesn't show well on here. So we might need to put him on a star or something. Not feeling blue glitter today. These are too small. I'm not going to take them out. One of you painted this and sent it to me, I think, because I don't think I have that exact paint. I mean, I have a lot of blue paint, don't get me wrong. I don't know where I want it, but I'd like to use it. Now, color-wise, it's going to be different than the rest, because when I looked at it, it's sort of tealy, but I just think it'll be fun. Oh, shoot. I skipped a step, and it's important for this one. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go, make the sound when you do it, too. It's okay if you forgot something. I wanted to show you, on the other one, we use the big stars. You could use ribbon, you could use washi tape, you could skip it completely and collage your little heart out so nothing shows. But this gives you just a little more interest on your paper underneath. Now, the second one didn't show a lot, so I'm gonna go like this, put another one. I don't know that I've used these stamps before, so it's not like I have like, something is happening behind me. Something came in a box that has a hole in the middle, like there's a cutout circle, and she is just fascinated. She's putting her paw in there, Zelda, like, what do they keep in the hole? So that should keep her out of trouble. Okay, now those are really dark. I could have stamped them off, but I didn't love that really light one. It's going to knock it back when we start covering them up. So if you're thinking, oh, that's terrible, or if you're thinking, wait a minute, the images didn't come through all the way. Yeah, we don't care. We don't care at all, because watch. We just wanted a little something behind it. It adds so much more interest, doesn't it? Our other one was flatter than this because I didn't think about it. And because we know where we want it, we could stamp. Now, I don't love that. That's not going to work for me. You might not be able to see it on camera, but I know it's there. See, just a little bit. And if we wanted, we could move this over and cut the point off. There's an art term for that when it goes off the page, and we might do that. That might be fun. And I'm probably going to have to keep that bird on there so he shows. I love green in with my blue. If I find some yellow stamps, Cheryl, I'll throw them in there. Hope you're feeling good. Ooh, I like that one too. And the last one we had a lot of red. I'm not feeling the red so much on this. I think fine art. Oh, I found that creative word. We didn't use it on the last one. Usually you have, oh, create, there we go. You have more and more stuff. There's still some white right there and I don't like it. You get stuff out and you don't use it all. And so that's why, you know, you can clean up at the end. I looked around, I'm sure you see new things on the counter, and found more bits and bobs. But I didn't want you to have to wait for me to dig through all the things. I know some people like it when, you know, you get to see, oh, what's in all those containers. But also, we have to get this video done today. Oh my gosh. Okay, this one I love. I'm done. Can you glue it down? No, probably not that way. I'll try and glue it down pretty close. And this one, because I have the stamping in it, I'm not as worried about things touching. It gives it more interest in the back. This is a scrap butterfly that Nancy made. She was trying to use scraps, and it's embossed and it's fabulous. Has a little bit of shine. I don't care. In a vintage album, I'm still going to use it. I love it. I like it on the flowers. Now, when you're done with this border, you could layer it, like give it an 1/8 inch layer on, can't talk in collage, you guys, on something else to frame the edge a little better. That would also help tie it into your book. So say your book is all, maybe it's really matchy-matchy and it's all yellow and blue. you could mount this on a yellow border, like 1/8 of an inch. And I know you've got scissors and paper cutters, probably all kinds of stuff. It would tie it into the book better. Or, I don't know, maybe you've used red mirror paper or something. I don't think I'd go with this one then for sure, but you could border it. You could also just ink the edges. Maybe you just want it to look even more vintage. I'm going to use this. I know it's going to be a little big, but I just have in my brain that I want to use this. One of my fabulous subscribers sent this to me. It's probably fun for you guys when you see that I actually use this stuff. And I do. I'm getting away from glitter paper. I wasn't feeling it on there. And I have so much mirror paper that I purchased. I definitely need to stop buying mirror paper. Blue mirror. Oh my gosh. I should probably have a day of die cutting that. When I laid it out, it had a bunch of space. And as I'm gluing, I'm making things touch. That's fine. You can change it up. But what's going to happen is I'm going to run out of stuff about here. So I probably need to like think things through a little bit. Let's get the bird attached to a star, because that's what I warned you about, right? And what'll happen is we will have made it so that all the similar stuff is up there. Now, I got these out. These are wax seals that my friend Noni made me. I was thinking, okay, I like them all, so it's hard to choose. Which one's my favorite? I don't know. But if we put one that's closer to color in this, maybe that helps a little more. Ooh, I kind of love this one. It has a leaf and we have like leaves and stuff stamped here. So if we go fine art, and we don't want to put like too many chunky things right next to each other. We're going to need the stinky glue for sure, which is fine because I want to finish that other one with the little bits before I show it on the other video. I very often lose the little bits and find them when I clean up later, but hopefully I'll remember. If I knew where I was going to put this on a page, maybe I would want the chunky part over here or up here or something. We'll figure that out when we glue it on a page and it'll be fabulous. Yeah, I'm going to put this, I'm going to glue the star on right now. And I'm not going to cut the point off yet, but I imagine when I put it in a book, I will. This is really thick, so I'm making sure that I get glue on the points, which are kind of curved, so it will lay down nicely. So I'm thinking down the road, I probably cut off this point that sticks off to the right. Probably shouldn't have put glue on that there. Let's get it on the counter and then just wipe it off there. There's some sort of art term for that. I don't know, but I like it. In Stampin' Up! Classes like 100 years ago, they were always like, you know, and don't forget to stamp off the page. It adds interest. That's all I know. I glued the tip. Ooh, I didn't. Okay, I want that right under the point. Left the drawer with the ink pads and dirty stamps open, and Zelda's playing in it. Now, I don't know what else is in there. Oh, she's given up, so nothing of interest. She's the one that has been to the vet to research whatever is in her and get it x-rayed. I do have to kind of keep an eye on that one. That's why part of why she loves this room is she doesn't get access to it if I don't have eyes on her. Well, I don't let her. Mr. Crafting and Relaxing thinks if they're napping in here, they're angels and we should just let them keep napping under the heater. I like this. The edge of it's bent, but we can put it over here and cut it off. So that's the other thing. Like you have a flower and when you die cut it, the paper wasn't quite big enough or it slipped or whatever. Yeah, just use it anyway. You can save those things for your collages. The edge is bent, but what it did was give me an idea to put it down and then cut it off. This is some sort of vellum-y shimmer paper, so my glue's probably going to show. And you just have to be okay with that sometimes. It might dry beautifully. If there was a glue that was going to dry beautifully, it's going to be art glitter glue. Now, I feel like I'm having a little trouble with my stamps. There we go. My stamps and my things. Here we go. Oh, I like that. Okay, but we're going to need something right there. And it's not this. This is too pale. Oh, here's a fun little tag. We could probably use that. Here's a book page butterfly. Come on in. These are adorable charms. You could sew these on too, right? I'm not going to, but you could. I would if we weren't on camera, maybe. You could sew on buttons. You glue on sequins. I mean, anything you have. And like I said, washi. I used to take, as you're making a project or trimming, I used to put the bits of washi on the counter. And then when I cleaned up, I would put them on these. that makes amazing backgrounds because you have like a 1/2 inch swatch of this one and then you have a 1 inch swatch. Be sure to put some glue under them. I cannot do that anymore. Zelda eats tape. I mean, she loves to eat tape and stickers and she peels it off. I had a habit of putting masking tape and various stickers and tape. I just stick them to the counter and use them for later, let them hang off the edge. No more. I mean, I have to clean up all the tape because I'm especially worried about tape that isn't paper-based. You know, tape that you'll have to pay to get out of the cat. Oh, kind of like that. It's a little bit full right there, though. So let's lay some of this stuff down and see if the rest of it ends up that full. I'm going to probably make some more without you guys because I would like to think that if I'm not talking to you, I'm faster. I don't know if that's actually true. I probably want to go this way because this thing's pretty big. Yeah. And then this one, is that glued down? No, that's going to be awesome. Could have used a little more room to go under, but see what I was talking about? Just remember to try and tack things down if you don't totally have a plan because you never know when you're going to want to go over or under something. Oops. It's, the leaf has a die cut part way through it too, and so I'm catching the edge of that. Don't want to mess it up. Probably can't cover up the person's face. You could tear bits of paper too. Maybe you have like a favorite scrap and you just have a tiny bit of it and you're like, I want to use this. Okay, put it on one of these. I think the little blue point sticks off the page. If it does, I'll cut it off. Okay, we need something right there. What if... There doesn't have to be logic. The tag I'm definitely cutting off. I just want it for like interest coming in. There. Helps that pop a little. So we'll trim that off. The star I'm going to leave for now. Hi, honey. What are we doing? Keep going. Okay. Everything's glued down except for these big chunkies. We need something right here, but I don't want another butterfly right next to that one. Is that weird? I'm fine with it if it is. These are a bit like cutesy for the rest of this page, especially with the centers in it. Oh, I do like this one though. We could put something else in the center. Oh, it's really thick too. I must have torn the center off because I was trying to decide something. So the other thing it does is I've got navy, navy, navy. I don't like it. Okay. Buttons would work too. Just depends on how chunky you want your journal later. I don't hate that because it's a circle like the wax seal, but it feels a little big. And I need something like right there. Oh, we haven't used these. We don't have any like foily color in there. Don't hate it. It's kind of small. Isn't that funny? Like this kind of small, this kind of, yeah, that happens. Oh, see, this end, that's the part I cut off. Or maybe the paper wasn't big enough. You never know what I was doing. And it's not the end of the world if I glue it down and it shows. It just wouldn't be my first choice. I've put this butterfly here a couple times, so I'm just doing it. And I'm not going to worry about gluing it down flat. I'm just going to glue his body and then... Oops, I did glue that wing. That's okay. Oh, there. So it can have some dimension in the journal. Maybe, depending on the journal. It might smash it flat. It might not. We have some tiny white stars right here. And I know we mostly have vintage, but 3 white stars. Oh, and a silver star, because you never know. That's fun. When they get upside down in the thing, you can't tell. Okay, and a white one. I'm going to leave the silver one down there. Then it brings in some silver. And put this one right here. So these tiny tinies, they always go on last because otherwise you don't know where you want them. Think of them as the, like, sprinkles on cupcakes if you bake. that pickup stick. Oops. And this brown piece, this is a piece of a paper bag. Like we are not super fancy here. We're just doing things. So if you're like, oh, I don't have all the supplies. I did some early videos. They're bad. I'm not recommending them. But Noni was traveling and I told her, okay, tell me what you have. And I kind of knew like what supplies she had. So I started making things like ephemera for cards or whatever with the things I knew she had. And it was literally like, you know, a Sharpie and a piece of embroidery floss and some scissors. They were like her, like, I don't know what they were called, snowbird or making ephemera, something, but it was, they were not good videos. You should not watch them. But I'm just saying it can be done. Okay, I'm going to glue those two with the big thing, the big stinky glue, and then I'm going to find something to go there. Oh, how about, it doesn't have to be one something. It could be, what if it's two somethings? Now, again, if I had not glued things down, I would be able to tuck. Oh, yeah. Tuck. There we go. I can live with that. It's a little light, but we needed something. We just needed something. So never throw away the, oh, what am I going to do with that one blue flower? Hey, that might be the answer to your collage. That might be the one. And it's fun to have these little things. That being said, now that I have these out, if I have some time, which I don't know if I do because I have to film the video and I really need to make card bases, I should go through and look. And if there were blue things in here that I didn't want to use, I should ask myself why. Somewhere I have in my card making stuff a section of balloons. I should put those in there because I'm not going to make a birthday journal probably. Okay, you'll see it in the finished one, but it's going to look something like that. Oh, we didn't glue that down. Oh, but this one fell off too. I forgot about it. I don't think we're going to use the silver ones. See, I didn't dislike them. They're not going in the trash. They didn't make the cut on that one. So there's another example. I hope you're inspired. You might make a bigger mess, but you'll have fun doing it. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're taking time for crafting and relaxing. Bye-bye.